And
Hey, good morning, everybody. I
Good
hope everyone
morning.
is ready for a fun day of stamping. I have got two incredible cards to share with you. You're going to love these. We've got one for fall and one for just any time of year. And it features the flashcard system. I'm excited about bringing flashcards back to you guys. But I tell you what, we want to give everyone a chance to get on live with us today. So I've got Brenda and Christina on with me today. Brenda's been on vacation. Christina came in and filled in for her. She did such a good job, Brenda. You would have been so proud.
I am so grateful.
Yeah, she said, well, Christina, I'll let you tell Brenda what you said.
Which thing did I say?
Oh, about
all
having
nice
a great
things, I'm
respect for
sure.
what she does.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how you keep up with it. I can keep up with reading comments, but once you start adding banners, I'm sure you guys noticed over the last couple weeks that the banners were all over the place. And that's because I can't keep up with that many things at once.
Multitasking is a gift. Thank you, Brenda.
Oh,
Truly.
it's my
Your
pleasure.
multitasking skills were missed. So yeah,
Well,
Brenda was on vacation for the last 2 Thursdays. So Christina was kind enough to fill in.
Yes,
You had
it
a
was
good trip?
good. We did have a good trip, and it was so nice because we had like a half a bar of reception at most, and so we could get a few texts, and that was it, and it was fantastic. So we had a really good time. So
It's nice to unplug.
it was. Hubby and I took the dog, and we went over to the Oregon coast and stayed at a favorite campground in our RV, and it was amazing. So yeah, I got to watch the cranberry harvest, but I got to show you something.
That done. I would love to see it in person.
Go with me next time. So I got to tell you, I placed an order before I left. Have you seen the rustic advent calendar?
You know, we had a special guest on the Creativate retreat. Jill
So
Taylor
cute.
from the home office was there, and she showed that. I immediately went and ordered it myself, so you already have it.
I ordered 5 of them. They're going to be gifts, but they will hold a gift. The little envelopes will hold gift cards, candy bars, cash. I mean,
well, you had me at candy bars, but go ahead.
I know, right? But then cash. I think they'll be great. I'm going to do them for my kids and grandkids, and yeah.
But what is that? So what is it? Just rustic Christmas kit?
Sure. Rustic Christmas countdown kit.
Countdown.
Yes.
Yeah. Jill showed it. We all went nuts for it. And yeah, I turned around before the end of the weekend and bought it. So I'm anxious for mine to come in too. You know what, Brenda? We could get on FaceTime together. We'll make it together.
Oh, let's do that. That'll be fun.
Good? Well, maybe we'll do it live and we'll just sit here and we'll just throw up a live on here and we'll just create together and see what happens.
I think I should fly over there and we'll do that.
That works even better.
I think so too. Okay. Let's put our coffee down. I hear Tugger's in live jail today. So
Tugger is in live jail. We put translation. He's down in the office with Christina with the door closed, but it has French doors. So there's glass in it and you look and he's just like,
he's laying by the doors looking longingly out the little windows.
Can I come in? Can I come
in? Mom left me here.
Well, listen, we've given everybody plenty of time to get on. I guess we should get to stamping. You guys are so sweet just to let me have some chit chat time because I love to just visit with you guys. That's why I love lives. It gives us a chance to chat. Okay, tell you what, let's head over to the stamping table. I'm going to show you what we have today. I'm on my second cup of coffee, so bear with me. All right, friends, we have got 2 cards today. And as I said, they feature the flashcard system. And we're going to talk about that before we get started. Now, my cards today, as always, I do have your free download. So don't worry about writing down measurements and things like that. Supply list, you can come back and watch my video again. And of course, I'd love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Your orders help me so much. You can order right there. I've got pictures, everything you need. You'll find that at simplysimplestamping.com, or you can look down in the YouTube description for a direct link. So, got that for you. That's got some good measurements on it. You're going to want that. But let's talk about flashcards. Some of you, this might be a brand new concept for you. So I thought today I'm going to share with you how to create flashcards. This is an idea I came up with, oh my gosh, 2010, 2011. It's been a long time. So what you're going to need to create flashcards are 2 pieces of cardstock, a colored piece of cardstock, and a neutral piece of cardstock. These are 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to share with you how to create flashcards and flashcards 2.0. If you have seen this before, friends, just stick with me. You know, it's always good to have a refresher, right? Now, by the way, Brenda does not know I'm showing this, so she does not have banners for this. So kick back and relax. All right. First thing I'm going to do, 11 inches up at the top, and I'm going to cut it in half at 5.5. I'm going to set one of these aside. Let's work with this one. By the way, I'm using some copper clay, fabulous color. Now, I'm going to cut this piece into 4 equal pieces, and that is 2 1/8 of an inch. So these are going to be 2 1/8 by 5. And by the way, 2 1/8 is in between 2 and 2 1/4. So just find the line in between there. And look at that. I have 4 equal pieces. This is the flashcard 2.0. Now for this other piece, I'm going to go ahead and show you because I want you to know how we create flashcards. This piece, we're going to put the 5.5 at the top, and we're going to cut it down to 2 3/4. And then we're going to rotate these around. We're going to cut them to 4 1/4. And these are the original flashcards. And I thought it might be good to share this with you again because we are kind of getting back into flashcards. And the whole idea behind flashcards is that when you need a card in a flash, you're just going to grab one of these pieces and you're going to grab a neutral piece. So I'm going to show you how to create the neutral piece now. So for flashcard 2.0, instead of cutting at 5.5, we're going to cut it at 5 3/8. Guys, 5 3/8 is in between 5 1/4 and 5.5. And these pieces are going to be cut down to 2 inches. And let me show you what happens. I now have a matted piece of cardstock, just like that. So that's how that works. You're going to cut all of these down to 2 inches. All right. And what you do is you have all these pieces ready to go. All right. So let's pretend we've cut all those. Now this is for our flashcard original. And this one with the 5, well, actually it's more than 5.5 now, but we're going to cut it down to 2.5 and 2.5. All right. And yes, we have a strip left over. I use that for sentiments all the time. And this one is going to be cut down, rotate it around, cut it down to 4 inches. And there we have another piece. So you can see how you can just stamp on this, whatever you want to do. I punch different things from behind here. I love creating with flashcards. So I thought I'd give you a quick refresher for those of you that are maybe new. So now we're going to get to creating a card. As I said, with flashcards, all you need are those 2 pieces and a card base, whatever card base you want. Now I'm going to be using Very Vanilla Thick for my first card. Let me show you my first card. You see we got a little cutout here, so that's kind of fun. So my card base is Very Vanilla Thick, 5.5 by 8.5. Now the nice thing with flashcards is I do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. Okay, I'm going to cut this down. So I've got the 8.5 up here at the top. I'm going to cut that down 3/4 of an inch. I want 3/4 by 5.5. All right. And because I hate to waste cardstock, I'm going to use this piece, and I chose to emboss it in an embossing folder. And I used the Basics 3D. I thought that one would be really good. It just is just a nice little crosshatch, and it kind of gave my cardstock a little bit of texture. Okay. You could do whatever you wanted if you didn't have that embossing folder. You know what? You could sponge it, you could crumple it, do whatever, but you can see I have gone ahead and I've embossed that. Let's get some adhesive on here, friends. And I'm going to put that right here in the center of my card. So that was a way that we used up this scrap. Rather than getting rid of it, we're going to use it. All right. Now let's do a little more cutting, because we're going to take our 2 flashcard pieces and we're going to create 3 panels. All right. This is so fun. So let's start. I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and start with the Very Vanilla. And we are going to cut this down. By the way, this is all in your free download. So remember, it was 2 inches by 5 3/8. We're going to cut this down to 3 pieces that are 1.5 by 2. All right, so there's 1, 2, and 3. Yep, we got a little left over, but that's okay. That's going to create those great little panels. Now we're ready to cut our copper clay. And for this one, remember, this is a 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. We want to cut this down to 1 5/8. And remember, the 1 5/8 is at in between 1 1/2 and 1 3/4. I can't always talk and cut at the same time. So there are my 3 layering panels. This is why flashcards are so cool, you guys, because there's so many different things you can do with it. And all I'm doing is just kind of using those same little pieces of cardstock. We're going to do some stamping. So I'm going to bring in some grid paper because I'm going to need something underneath me when I stamp. Pick the punch. Oh, and Judy says she loves that copper clay color. I absolutely agree. It's absolutely stunning. And oh, Diana said it's foggy there. Oh my goodness. And a high of 73. I hear you. We're going to have some low 70s as well. All right. Pick of the patch is our stamp set today. And actually, I'm using the bundle because I'm going to use this punch as well. Let me see if, lighting is always so fun. Let's see if we could, I can't get it. Oh, does that help? That's probably even worse. Anyway, we've got 2 pumpkins, a leaf, a stem. We got all kinds of good stuff on this punch. We're going to use that on this one as well. So let's get to stamping. I've got 4 ink colors. I've got copper clay, crushed curry, pumpkin pie, and garden green. We're just going to go down the line here. Let's start with the crushed curry. And, oh my god, we're going to stamp a gourd right here on this first panel. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to try to get kind of all my colors done rather than like stamping each one individually. So you can see on this one, we're going to stamp a couple of leaves. All right. Simple, simple. That is the end of my crushed curry. So I'll put that one away. Next, let's do our pumpkin pie. We'll do our little pumpkins here. And I've got 2 pumpkins. Oh no, one of my pumpkins has gone missing. All right, little pumpkin guy, where are you? You are right here. You are not supposed to be in there. We need this one out. I missed one. Well, at least I didn't have it on the other side of the room this time. Okay, so we're going to stamp in pumpkin pie. It's always something when you're live, guys. These are the fun things I always edit out for you in my other videos. Okay, let's stamp a tall pumpkin kind of over on the left side of that panel. And while I have this out, I brought in a little bit of scrap and I'm going to stamp a pumpkin that I'm going to punch up. But I want you to notice the direction of this punch. So you can see when I stamp this, I want this part of the pumpkin facing out. So when we open up our punch, and I love to use scraps. I love to use scraps. So we'll line that up right in there. Give it a punch. There is my little punched pumpkin. All right, we've got that done. Let's see. We need our garden green. No, let's do our copper clay. We got to get our stems on before we can do that one. Copper clay. Judy said one of her favorite colors. Oh, Ramona, you must like this stamp set. I agree. It is a fantastic set. And you guys, I'm a hot mess because I guess I didn't get out my stem either. What is wrong with me today? Oh, okay, let's try this again. Stem. And maybe one of you can tell me which direction does the stem go? Does the fat tip go up or I don't know, but I went ahead and did it that way. Somebody
Connie?
Tell me if I'm doing it wrong. I'm not 100%
Connie,
sure. What?
fat tip goes at the bottom.
Okay. Well, we're going to, guess what? We got to do another one anyway. This is I can kind of see where my pumpkin's going to go. So I'm just going to kind of lay that there so I get a visual. Can you see? We're going to be giving that a little dimension here. So I went ahead and stamped that. Oh, let's get some leaves on here. But you know what? Got to do a little cleaning because I've got some crushed curry on there. Okay. We'll get some more of the copper clay leaves. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and clean it again because I know I'm going to need it in my garden green here in just a second. I'm not going to let this get too far away from me because I got to add my dots. You know what? I want to go ahead and get my garden green on here before I get going. You guys good with that? Let's see. Trying to read comments and stamp.
I did want to share a funny story that Ramona posted. She was hunting for a stamp, looked everywhere, and eventually found it on the bottom of her shoe.
Oh, well, you know what, Ramona? I have found a circle die that I thought had been lost for months. Bought myself a new set of circle dies. It had pressed itself onto the bottom of an ink pad. Girl, I totally hear you. I do. Oh, crazy, crazy. Yep. I have found stamps in some odd little places as well. All right, you can see I just used my garden green to add some more leaves, some little swirlies there. And you guys know, I love speckle. I love polka dots. So this little polka dot stamp, it just adds something to these images. You know, it's just adorable. So let's add some of these. You notice it's just very random. I'll get just a couple on this one. There's plenty going on there. So some fun stamping. Great little fall card, don't you think? Okay, I'm going to put this guy together and stick around. I got another card to share with you. And it's a really nice one because it's going to be used for any time of year. So if I am gifted enough to put adhesive on here and read comments at the same time, let's see. Brenda says this card makes me so happy. You know what? It makes me happy too. I love fall. It's my favorite time of year. And, you know, I think, you know, I love to stamp with flowers, and you know, I do a lot with flowers. I like, because I can't grow them, so you know what, I'm going to stamp them. But you know, when the seasons change, I love my cards to reflect that. How about you guys? Brenda says, I'm thinking you could make a birdhouse with the gourd. Oh, that would be so cute. Okay, Bren, we need to see that. So go over to my Facebook page and be sure to share that. All right, I want to see that. Okay, friends, I'm going to put this card together. I do need to stamp my sentiment. So how about we just go ahead and do that? We're going to say a harvest of blessings. But listen, this area, this could say happy birthday. This could say thinking of you. You guys know the drill. There's no right or wrong to what you do when it comes to those sentiments. Pull a sentiment out of another set. But a harvest of blessings comes from the pick of the patch. So that was an easy enough one to go with. We are going to add these with Stampin' Dimensionals. Let me reach over for those. And it's gonna be a lot of dimensionals. So I'll tell you what, let's see what you guys are saying while I add some dimensionals here. Brenda says it's a throwdown. I don't know if you're saying, hey, we need to throw down on how we're going to turn that gourd into a birdhouse, but I'm frightened because I am not 100% sure. So this throwdown, I think you're going to win. All right. I'm going to try something here. I have got my take your pick tool. I'm going to see. Yeah, this thing kind of picks up those backings a little bit faster. And, oh, yeah, it sure did. Look at that. By the way, I use the little additions toolkit for this. It's got this little curved. Oh, well, sure. Now that I said it, now it doesn't want to pick them up. But look at that. You know, I've always thought about doing this, and then I never do. And I thought, you know what, today, how about we use this to pick up. Look at that. I got 8 of them on there. That's why I like that little curvy one. All right. So let's put this together. You guys know that I always say, don't adhere anything down until you're sure you've got it where you want it. So I'm just going to lightly lay that there. I'm going to grab my gourd and put that right there. Again, don't press anything down because I got to center these up in here. And that's not too bad. I always want to make sure, yeah, see how, now you know, that's why we don't press stuff down. I want to get those all lined up. I think I need to come over just a touch. All right, what do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. Press, press, press. I am going to take my pumpkin and grab one more Stampin' Dimensional. I'm actually going to stick it right here. Remember that stem? I will kind of center up my pumpkin with that stem. Oh, I forgot I was supposed to stamp a little leaf. Oh, forgive me, guys. And it's probably a little too late, but yeah, I should have stamped a little leaf right there. It's all good. I think it's still cute. Now I'm going to show you this trick with the wavy trim. All right, so let me find my wavy trim. Here we go. And we're going to add this. See, it gives it that real just nice little rustic look. I'm going to do it with some multi-purpose glue. And what I want, oops, a little thick there. That's okay. It's all going to be hidden. I'm going all the way across there. All right. I forgot it was a brand new bottle. I'm so used to using that when I'm kind of near the end. Okay. I'm going to press that on there. Here's a trick. Take your silicone mat to press that on, because that way if any glue gets on it, it's going to be on that silicone mat. You're going to want to let that dry, and you're just going to take your scissors and trim, and friends, we have got ourselves one adorable autumn card, fall card. What do you think? Cute, cute, right? Now, I want you guys to stop and think about what is on your shelf right now. What else could you stamp here? All right. I'm sure you got all kinds of small images in your stamp sets. I encourage you to look at what you have and see what you can create. Okay. Maybe you would do some holly leaves for a Christmas card. Maybe you would do a little tiny Christmas tree. Maybe you would do some balloons for birthday cards. Lots of options with this one. But I'm going to show you one more card today. And that is this one here. And I absolutely love how this one came out. I did this one on basic white thick, and I'm going to be using the translucent florals stamp set. This has become kind of a favorite of mine right now. So we're going to put this card together really quick. All right. To save some time for you guys, I have gone ahead. I have cut the bottom of my card, the 3/4 of an inch. I embossed it and I've adhered that. You remember our Flashcard 2.0 pieces? Well, I have those in basic white and pretty peacock. All right.
Now, we did have a quick question. Brenda asked, why did you put the embossed piece on the card and then cover it up?
You know what? Because it was something to do with it. I could have just put it in my scrap drawer, and it's probably, let me zoom in and see, can you see how it's peeking out? It might just be kind of hard to see on your end, but that's why it was, you know what? I hate to not use everything that I can when I create cards. So that's what I did there. Just kind of added a little something to the background, but that's an excellent question. Thank you, Brenda. All right, let's go ahead and create this card. We're going to do this one really quickly. 3 ink pads, Old Olive, Pretty Peacock, and Moody Mauve. So let's see. Let's start with some Old Olive. We're going to get Old Olive. I think just might be one of the original and still available Stampin' Up! Colors. Okay, when you use this stamp set, you want to tap very lightly on your ink pad. This is what we call a distinctive image. And so we want a really light look. So don't tap too hard and don't press too hard. So what I'm going to do here is press that. I know I'm not going to get all of the leaves. I just want some. All right. Let me bring in my next one. And where are my stamps? There we go. we're going to stamp this little leafy image. We're going to do something with that here in just a second. And then I have a small set of leaves, and we're going to get that down in the bottom left corner. Okay, Old Olive done. Let's bring in a little Moody Mauve. I am falling in love with this color, by the way. And I want to tell you something I've learned with Moody Mauve. When you stamp it, it's going to be dark, but it's going to lighten up. All right. In fact, let me just kind of show you. Do you see that? That's what it looks like when that color starts to dry. Huge difference, but give it a second. That's what it's going to look like. All right, we're going to take this last one. We're going to bring in a little bit of Pretty Peacock. And we have another little stamp in here. Oh, friends, this is just, it is such a gorgeous stamp set. So what I'm going to do here is just lightly stamp right on that little, I don't know, is it a tree? Is it just a branch? I don't know. And we are going to adhere these onto our Pretty Peacock. And I'll tell you what, because we're running a little short on time, I'm going to go ahead and bring this in because it's pretty self-explanatory, right? We're going to adhere those just like we did before with the Stampin' Dimensionals. I added a little linen thread bow right here. All right, you can also use your baker's twine. I think that's from the Basics baker's twine. I thought it was a linen thread bow, but there's linen thread. And I'll go ahead and show you, if you're not familiar, how to do that. You take a mini glue dot and you roll it into a little tiny ball. And here, I'll show it to you on my little scrap. But you just take that little, I'm going to zoom in because I want you to see. There's my little tiny rolled up glue dot. And the reason I did that is the center of this linen thread bow is so tiny that we want it to stick in the middle. Now, I tend to do this because I want to make sure all that sticky is good and off of there. All right. Because, you know, we don't want it to stick to the inside of the envelope or anything like that. But that's how I adhere little tiny baker's twine, really thin images, any type of ribbon or thread or baker's twine to my cards. So let's bring in our cards so that you guys can see. This is how you can create amazing cards with Flashcards 2.0. There are dozens and dozens of different ways you're going to be able to use these. This is just one of the many ideas. And stick around because I'm going to have more for you. But I'll tell you what, before I kind of close things today, I want to share with you the cards we're going to make next week. So that'll be Thursday, October 26th. If you are looking, whoops, that's not the card. If you're looking for a gift idea, we are going to create some of the fastest and, in my opinion, some of the most beautiful cards. Do you love these? Aren't these so pretty? I love it. We got a little stamping in on the inside. Just a note, happy birthday, thinking of you and thank you. Who can see these created as a gift? And you can pick any color under the sun. You're going to have so much fun. We're going to be using the Magical Meadow and a blending brush or a sponge dauber. So I would love for you guys to create with me next week, October 26th. I've got a second set of cards, and I did want to go ahead and show these to you because you recognize the stamp set. I just used it. Maybe you want a little bit brighter cards for your gift. You know what? You can do it with this translucent florals as well. Again, happy birthday, just a note, thank you. And thinking of you, you could make some really great cards as gifts. And I would love for you guys to see that next week. And I would love for you to stamp along with me when we do that one. So we will plan on seeing you guys on the next video. Thank you all so much for being here. I truly appreciate you coming on live and just spending 30 minutes chatting with me, stamping with me. And a huge shout out to Christina and Brenda. Thanks for joining me today. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Can't wait to stamp with you on the next video. Bye-bye.